If you've been wondering why your neighbor's hydrangeas are covered in flowers while yours only has a handful of blooms, this video is for you. The secret isn't a miracle fertilizer or a viral gardening hack. It's giving your hydrangea exactly what it needs to set more flower buds. In this video, I'll show you 5 natural ways to dramatically increase your hydrangea blooms by focusing on what actually matters. Number 1, pruning mistake. If I could only give one piece of advice for getting more hydrangea blooms, this would be it. Stop pruning your hydrangea. Many gardeners prune their hydrangeas with the best intentions. We naturally assume that trimming a shrub will encourage fresh growth because that's exactly what we do with many other flowering shrubs like roses. But that doesn't work for hydrangeas. Many of the most popular varieties, including big leaf hydrangeas, bloom on old wood. That simply means the flower buds for next summer actually formed on last year's stems. Think about that for a second. Your hydrangea begins preparing next year's flowers months before you ever see them. During late summer and early fall, it quietly develops tiny flower buds along the stems. Now imagine what happens if you prune those stems. Without realizing it, you've removed the flowers for next year. One of the most frustrating parts is that your hydrangea won't look damaged. It will still produce lots of healthy green leaves, and it may even grow larger than ever. Then summer arrives, and instead of dozens of colorful blooms, you only have a few scattered flowers or none at all. I know sometimes you want to clean up your hydrangea. You can do so by removing dead wood, broken branches, or stems. If you need to shape the shrub, make only light cuts, but don't go heavy on pruning. I see gardeners cutting their hydrangeas almost to the ground because they want a neat, tidy shrub. Don't make that mistake. It's the quickest way to kill an entire season of flowers. New wood hydrangeas, like Annabelle hydrangea on the other hand, can be pruned. Now, you may be wondering, what if I don't know which type of hydrangea I have? That's a very common situation, especially if you moved into a home where the shrubs were already planted. Before making any major cuts, take a few minutes to identify your hydrangea variety. If you're unsure, it's always safer not to prune. Number 2, give your hydrangea the right amount of sun. Now let's talk about another factor that has a huge impact on flowering, and that's sunlight. Many people assume hydrangeas are shade plants. While it's true that hydrangeas appreciate some protection from intense afternoon heat, they still need enough sunlight to produce lots of blooms. Think of sunlight as your plant's energy source. The leaves capture sunlight and turn it into energy through photosynthesis. For most hydrangea varieties, the ideal location is somewhere that receives morning sun and afternoon shade. Morning sunlight is gentle and gives the plant several hours to build energy before temperatures rise. Afternoon shade helps protect the leaves and flowers from the hottest part of the day, especially during heat waves. Of course, where you live also makes a difference. If you garden in a cooler northern climate, your hydrangea can usually tolerate more direct sunlight than someone gardening in the south. In hotter regions, intense afternoon sun can cause leaves to wilt almost every day during summer. If your hydrangea regularly looks droopy by lunchtime, even when the soil is moist, too much afternoon sun may be part of the problem. On the other hand, if your shrub is tucked beneath large trees or planted against the north side of your house where it receives very little direct sunlight, it may simply need more light to bloom well. Take a few minutes to observe your hydrangea throughout the day. How much direct sunlight does it actually receive? Is it shaded by nearby trees? Has a tree grown larger over the years, gradually blocking more sunlight than when the hydrangea was first planted? Sometimes the growing conditions change so slowly that we don't even notice. If your hydrangea has struggled to bloom for several years and you realize it's in the wrong location, transplanting it during late fall or early spring can make a big difference. It may seem like a lot of work, but it's usually a one-time fix that will reward you with many more flowers for years to come. Number 3, water consistently. Hydrangeas are famous for loving water. In fact, their name comes from the Greek words meaning water vessel, which gives you a pretty good idea of how important moisture is to these plants. But here's something that surprises many gardeners. Established hydrangeas don't need much water. They need consistent watering. Both underwatering and overwatering can reduce the number of flowers your plant produces. Let's start with underwatering. When the soil becomes too dry, your hydrangea goes into survival mode. Instead of putting energy into producing large, colorful blooms, it focuses on simply staying alive. You may notice drooping leaves, smaller flowers, or in severe cases, no flowers at all. During long stretches of hot, dry weather, this can happen surprisingly quickly because hydrangeas have relatively shallow root systems compared to many other landscape shrubs. Now let's look at what happens when you overwater. If the soil stays constantly wet because it doesn't drain well, the roots can begin to struggle. Healthy roots need oxygen just as much as they need water. Weak roots mean a weaker plant, and once again, flowering is often the first thing to decline. Your hydrangea will bloom best when the soil is consistently moist but never soaking wet. The easiest way to know whether your hydrangea actually needs water is to check the soil instead of following a strict watering schedule. Simply stick your finger about 2 or 3 inches into the soil near the base of the plant. If it feels dry, give your hydrangea deep watering. If the soil still feels moist, wait another day and check again. This simple habit takes less than a minute, but it's far more accurate than watering on a schedule. For me, I end up watering my hydrangeas about once a week unless there is a heat wave. And whenever possible, water early in the morning. Morning watering gives the roots plenty of moisture before the hottest part of the day, while allowing the leaves to dry quickly, which can help reduce disease problems. Number 4, mulch around the base. Now let's talk about one of the easiest things you can do for your hydrangeas, and it's something many gardeners overlook. Mulch. A simple layer of mulch can make a noticeable difference in the health of your plant and ultimately the number of blooms it produces. Think of mulch as a protective blanket for the soil. During the summer, it helps keep the soil cooler by shielding it from the hot sun. That means the roots stay more comfortable, even during long stretches of warm weather. Mulch also slows down evaporation. Instead of the soil drying out just a day or two after watering, it stays moist much longer. Another benefit is that mulch helps reduce weeds, which compete with your hydrangea for water and nutrients. Fewer weeds mean more resources available for your shrub to grow healthy roots and produce beautiful flowers. As organic mulch slowly breaks down, it also improves your soil by adding organic matter. Number 5, don't overdo the fertilizer. When a hydrangea isn't blooming well, many gardeners immediately add fertilizer. It seems logical. More fertilizer should mean more flowers, right? Actually, that's often not the case. In fact, using the wrong fertilizer can make the problem worse. The biggest issue is too much nitrogen. Nitrogen encourages leafy green growth. That's great if you're trying to grow lettuce, but with hydrangeas, too much nitrogen can cause the plant to put all of its energy into producing bigger leaves and longer stems instead of flowers. If you've ever seen a huge, lush green hydrangea with hardly any blooms, excess nitrogen may be part of the reason. Personally, I keep fertilizing simple. I feed my hydrangeas once in early spring as new growth begins, and if the plants seem like they need a little extra boost, I'll sometimes fertilize one more time in early summer. That's it. I use a balanced, slow-release fertilizer. More fertilizer doesn't mean more flowers. Get your free hydrangea plant care tracker. Want to stay on top of fertilizing, propagation, and soil pH adjustments? Download my free hydrangea plant care tracker printable. Link in the description below. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe for more planting videos like this. Thanks for watching.